Welcome back, listeners, to Cosmic Confluence with Sana. Now, today we are zooming in on a topic that honestly a lot of people quietly wrestle with. Guess what? Luck. Now, some people seem to always be in the right room at the right time, in the right place. Right DM as well. While others feel like they're doing all the things right, yet the needle barely moves. So, is that just fate playing favorites? Or is there a real strategy behind those so called lucky breaks? Our guest today lives in that very tension every day. Rob Tracz is a high performance coach, keynote speaker, and also the creator of the Prime Performance process. He works with entrepreneurs and leaders who are stuck in that frustrating middle, not failing, not really flying either. Now, Rob focuses on 6 core principles, listeners: resilience, intentionality, clarity, optimization, social support, and opportunity creation. So, in this conversation, we are not romanticizing the grind or the hustle. We are going to ask if luck can actually be built into your system. What is in your control? What is not? And how preparation and real human connection can quietly stack the odds in your favor. So if you have ever looked at someone's big break and thought, why not me, God? This one's for you. So Rob, welcome to Cosmic Confluence, and it's really an honor to have you here.
Sana, thank you so much for that introduction. It's great to connect with you, and I'm happy to be here.
Absolutely. And I mean, this is such an interesting topic, and this is such an interesting thing to think about because this other day I was just looking at a quick YouTube short, and this billionaire was there. He said something about luck, and it was kind of very, very surprising. So there's always this kind of a conundrum, like a confusion within us, that how exactly does it work? Like, do we have to do some kind of ritual? Do we need to have a rabbit's foot, or do we need to work really hard, so that the luck is with us? So let's start with defining luck in real life, Rob. So when people say they're just lucky, from your lens as a high performance coach, what does luck actually mean? Is it there? Is it real? Or is it like, just this a placebo effect, a story we tell after something works or doesn't work?
Yeah, so a lot of people do think it's something supernatural or crazy or whatnot, but for me, really, it's just a byproduct of preparation and opportunity at the same time. And if you are an individual who hustles, works, and does very well at making sure that they're prepared for different circumstances and situations, then it's only a matter of time until the opportunity matches up. And then when that does happen, you're prepared to capitalize and execute on it. So if you think about it just as a simple equation of preparation plus opportunity, then you can really control the variables and as best as you can, and then really set yourself up to look like that overnight success or that super lucky individual.
That hits, because what you are really saying is that, luck is usually this invisible hard work plus a couple of key people, who open doors. And I think, even I also personally believe that, we do not have to wait for the universe to randomly bless us. We can build daily habits, like how we show up, how we follow, or maybe how we handle each and every small opportunities.
Exactly. Yeah. And when I'm working with a lot of my clients, I really I lead them through the luck framework that I've created to really make sure that they are spending more time being intentional and directing themselves for that hard work, so that when opportunity does arise, it just, you can execute and capitalize on it.
Okay. Okay, so let's talk about the equation here, preparation and then opportunity. Now, in your prime performance process, the six pillars like intentionality, clarity, optimization. Um, okay, so where does preparation actually start for a normal person? Who is not busy, not a professional athlete or a CEO, just for a normal person.
Yeah, so the preparation starts like in the very beginning, before you even start any kind of new project or adventure. Really sitting and kind of thinking more about where you're at and how to capitalize, right? So if we go back to the luck framework, and if you just think of the word luck itself, it's spelled Luck. So when I'm working with somebody and trying to help them create that luck, the preparation part is going through this acronym. You start off with the first letter L, and that's all about leveraging your uniqueness. And being able to identify what your uniqueness is helps you stand out from the crowd so that when opportunity does pop up, it's attracted to you. You start attracting these opportunities instead of just waiting for chance. And you really figure out what your uniqueness is by asking yourself these three questions. What is the limitation or problem that you can solve, or that you're something that you're good at fixing? And then you want to ask yourself, what is the logic behind that limitation or problem? So what is the cause that creates this problem? And then finally, you ask yourself, what is your unique lens for solving that problem that's caused by that thing? And that is the cross section of those three questions, or the answer of those three questions becomes your uniqueness that really allows opportunity to start to begin being attracted to you.
Yeah, that is interesting. That is interesting. And something that you mentioned is creating our luck. I think that is something, you know, it's very interesting to wonder, think about it, that, we are actually creator. We are not actually succumbing or, surrendering to anything called luck. For example, let's say one person who is going through 50, 100 leads every day. There will be 2 or 3 days where there's no conversion, no success. But maybe the fourth day, he got or they got someone, a big client, which is like, which is going to definitely move their career. Then there will be one person who may get maybe 2 or 3 good clients within a single day, or maybe after 2 days. So it works in different ways. It cannot be just, that I am lucky that I got a big client. I was consistent and I did a lot of perseverance and did a lot of calls and, so yeah, that worked.
Yeah. Well, so if you're an individual who's out there and you've got all these different leads and you're just cold reaching out, sending messages to everybody saying, hey, come buy from me, or hey, come look at this thing, it's going to feel like chance. And like you can go through hundreds and thousands of different people, and eventually, just through the power of the quantity of numbers, eventually someone's going to buy or be interested in hearing what you're trying to say. But if you follow the framework here and you hone in on leveraging your uniqueness, so that first letter of luck, then you can start talking specifically to the people who have the problems that you solve. And you now have a unique solution to solving those problems. So then you begin to attract those individuals instead of wasting time talking to unqualified leads or unqualified people.
Exactly. And let me push on this, Rob. Like, there's this narrative that not narrative, but something which you said and really struck a chord with me is the creation of our, we create our own luck. There are a lot of people listening. They may not start from the same place. Like some have networks or safety nets or maybe, other options. but
Hmm.
others do not. So how do you avoid turning this idea of creating our own luck into a subtle blame game for people who genuinely have fewer advantages?
Yeah, I mean, it's just as simple as following the rest of the acronym, right? So, like the first letter being just that leveraging the uniqueness, and then kind of knowing exactly what it is that you're the problem that you solve and the cause of the problem and your uniqueness for solving that problem. But if you move down the acronym, the next letter becomes you, and that's really understanding the audience. And this is where you want to ask yourself, like, okay, well, who has the problem that I solve? And like, what is their psychographic? What is their demographic? And what are some of their values that they hold true to themselves? Because that allows your marketing and at least your conversations that you have with people, you can tailor it to connecting better with your audience. I heard somebody say that good leaders can communicate with a lot of people, but
Mm.
great leaders communicate with everyone because they tailor the way that they communicate to the listener. So, as an individual who's looking to create your own luck, when you know the problem, you understand the cause behind it, and you have your unique solution to it, then you tailor the way that you communicate your solution to your audience. That allows it to really start sticking to those people. So the first letter, L, of leverage your uniqueness, begins to attract more potential qualified leads. The second letter, U, of understanding your audience, allows people to start to know you and build trust with you. That begins the stickiness of the audience. Then you move into the C, which is collaborate often. And this is where you begin to find other successful people in your world that you can collaborate with that might be able to boost your audience, may be able to boost your reach, or may be able to share some information with you on how you can be more successful there. Because now you're multiplying your reach and your impact with this. And then the final letter is K, and that stands for keep showing up. So then you continue to climb, you continue to capture a lot of content, testimonials, and feedback from your customers and your clients. And that allows you to create more momentum going forward. So if you follow those four letters, the LUCK, that sets you up for a framework to have continuous success and momentum with pretty much any kind of project or adventure that you're setting out on. If it's a new product, if it's a new service, if you're just looking to connect with new people, following that luck framework makes you look like an overnight success.
Hmm. Hmm. I want to, you know, dive more deeper and like dive deeper into the communicate part and this uh, like the customers part.
Sure.
It's kind of related to something like how we build our connections, and social support. Now, a lot of people say that your network is your net worth, but then sometimes it also kind of, feels transactional. So, in the context of opportunity creation, Rob, how do you define healthy connection? Like without making every relationship feel like just a strategic play.
Yeah. So as in business and in the world, we're often told that the more hands that you shake, the more money you'll make, right?
Okay.
And your network equals your net worth. And although that may be true sometimes, I believe that it's not necessarily about more connections as much as it is about deeper connections. For example, I'll tell you a story. This one time I had gone to a sporting event and one of my friends was like, hey, we've got tickets. This game is going to be nationally televised. So there's a pretty good chance that we could get on TV and get our 15 minutes of fame. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. And he said, in order to increase our chances, we're going to show up in full uniform. So we showed up to the sporting game, but not wearing jerseys or baseball caps. We ended up wearing costumes. So my one friend was a taco. My other friend was wearing a green skin suit. and I was dressed myself as Santa Claus. And we met so many people that day. We must have met like 500 people because everybody was lining up to take pictures with us. They were giving us high fives. And it was really incredible because we met so many people. But the point here is, though, after meeting so many people that day and getting our little 15 minutes of fame, I don't remember a single person. I can't call up any of those people. I can't ask any of those people to buy any of my products or services, and they can't direct me to anybody else. But I do remember Taco and Green Man. So the point here is that more connections aren't always as powerful as deeper connections, because deeper connections help you go further at a faster rate. So being able to develop better social skills and providing more value to your closer connections keeps you top of mind and allows you to get connected with better quality people instead of just connecting with faceless people from the crowd.
That's such a good example, Rob. Such a good example. And I think it's like, and it's a huge mindset shift also, because it's always quality over quantity, because and this is more and more relevant in today's day of social media and all this influencer stuff and everything. Even in LinkedIn, there will be profiles where you would see like 10,000 plus connections, 20,000 plus connections, but the engagement can be as low as maybe hardly 10 or 15 people who are genuinely engaging with what we're sharing. So I think quality here absolutely matters, and deeper connections.
Exactly. That's so true. And the deeper connections that you have, the better quality connections you have, they can really set you up. They can give you referrals. They can introduce you to better mentors. There's so many better opportunities that come from deeper relationships than with more surface level relationships.
Agree. 100% agreed. Super. Before we wrap up, Rob, it's more like a different take on preparation. Now, there have been, even personally also, I have gone through this, like, completely fully prepared, networking, taking action for years and years, but then still things are not landing the way we have hoped. How do you talk about luck and opportunity with someone who did everything we all just discussed right now, and they still feel that life just keeps saying not right now, not you?
Yeah, so patience is going to be crucial, and you develop a lot of patience by auditing the different challenges and your ability to recover too. So putting out and grinding and doing all those, sending out DMs and content and conversations and going to events and all of these things, it does wear and tear on you. And you want to make sure that you have a strong support system around you, and you want to make sure that you have strong systems to allow yourself to kind of breathe and reflect and adjust. Because if you're grinding, and you're not seeing any progress happening, it might be important to kind of slow things down and reflect a little bit more consciously and create a new game plan to move forward. Because if you're just nonstop go, and you're not hitting any traction, something's not aligned in your system. And you want to have the awareness of knowing when to draw the line in the sand so you can set the boundaries on when it is time to reflect and to adjust and create a new game plan going forward. Otherwise, if you continue that grind, eventually things might not change, and you'll wake up down the road and be in the same exact spot that you were a year, 2 years, 5 years previously.
Yeah. And if you look at this from a realistic, optimistic way, I think something better is in store for you. So why not, as you perfectly described, just reflect back, take a step back, take a pause and reflect, introspect, and then you maybe create a new game plan. Absolutely.
Exactly.
Great. So, Rob, before we wrap up, if listeners, they would like to connect with you and share their thoughts about this conversation or explore more about high performance coaching, what would be the best way to reach out?
Yeah, the best places to kind of reach me are at social media or just at my website, robtrazy.com. Social media, I'm on Instagram and LinkedIn are the places that I hang out the most. And if anybody is interested in gaining more clarity and momentum in any side hustles or side projects that they're working on, I've created a free tool of my 5 tips to gaining clarity and momentum. And anybody can find that and check it out at survivingthesidehustle.com/5 keys.
Wonderful. Listeners, what I'm going to do for all of you is have all these details and all the links in the show notes for your easy access. So do connect with Rob, do check out his resources, do explore prime performance coaching. And I think let's take this as a general challenge. Maybe this week or weekend, pick one thing, like maybe one preparation habit, one relationship to nurture, or one small risk that increases the odds of opportunity finding you. Not someday, just in the next season. With that, we conclude this episode of Cosmic Confluence. And Rob, thank you so much for such a realistic and practical take on luck. Moreover, very important, creating our own luck. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sana.
Super. So until next time, this is Sana. You have been listening to Cosmic Confluence. And take this from me, you are not powerless. You are also not supposed to do this alone. Until next time, keep listening. And thank you so much.